So Simon, congratulations on the win. Just firstly, your general thoughts on that game?
Poor quality of game for 40 minutes in particular. The first 40, both teams sort of sabotaged really from both teams. They hurt themselves. Then we got out in front. I think from there we should have done a better job of closing the game out, but our discipline was borderline pathetic, I thought, today. I think we're probably looking over our shoulders a little bit, waiting for someone else to take the reins and drag us through it rather than being the one, which is something we need to learn to do, because you can't wait for example, Kesey to come up with a 40-20 or some big moment to swing it for you. You've got to work your way out of it, and so we didn't really have the answer for that today. But it's round 3. It's a win. We could have quite easily lost that, I think, particularly when it went to Simbin at the end there, Damper. So we'll have to lick our wounds. I've not gone into them too much because, you got to enjoy your wins, obviously. We got 2 points at the end of the day. The tries conceded were poor. We'll move on now. We'll have a look at it Tuesday. Just get better. That's what this time of year is, trying to find your rhythm and flow. And we certainly lacked a lot of that today, so we'll just keep pushing away.
You mentioned rhythm and flow there, that was my next question. It didn't seem like either side could really find that at all. Was that one of the biggest problems, did you think?
I think just the amount of drop ball, penalties, it just had no real flow to the game, which then you start trying to fix stuff that aren't there at times. In those patches when we were positive and making breaks, and even if it come to an error, like one where Cav goes through and offloads it, hits the ground, it's fine. When we're doing what showed them was going to work, what we've practiced, I don't mind it. But it's when we start making it up, which is quite hard to watch, which was a good chunk of that game.
Like I said, though, it is just round 3, so plenty of the season to go, plenty to sort of change or adapt and improve. How are you sort of measuring your side so far 3 games in?
Average. Look, if you've got grand final form in round 1, you're going to be struggling to maintain that throughout, so it's like everyone, you're a work in progress. Number of changes to the squad, a couple of changes in the team. We're still trying to work out, where I'm trying to work out what combos are best for, particularly our starting 3 middles there, and also how we use the bench effectively. Maybe didn't get it right today, I don't know, but it's something we just have to keep persevering with, and it'll come in the end. As much as it's my job to pick the team, when we get a bit under our belt, the team will end up taking shape as it has done before, and you'll get into a rhythm where, well, that's the team. Your job is to crack it when you get an opportunity, and I think we're quite a way off settling on anything like that.
Just want to touch on a few individuals. James Salton stole 2 tries today on his 200th appearance for the club. How pleased are you for him to get those 2 tries on a day like this for him?
Yeah, and lovely for him to get over. I thought he could have had a few more had we got our skill level right before that. Salt is absolute enigma. Throughout his rugby league career, he's able to do things on a field that a bloke that shapes up like he's just got off the couch shouldn't be able to do, to be honest. But what he does have is an absolute desire to win, play well. You'll never see anyone want to win more, and he's very proud to represent this club, and I think he shows that in nearly all his performances, really. And fortunately, even like round 1 against Sheffield, he was great. He had a dig against Fev in tough circumstances. I think he's got to the stage of his career where there's very little between his best and his worst. Where at the moment, early year, there's a lot of blokes who've got quite a distance. So, I'm really happy for him to get that milestone. It's a big achievement to do for your hometown club especially, and I'm sure he's got plenty more in the tank yet.
There are a couple of others milestones as well. Tangata's 150th for Halifax, and Zach McComb's 100th career appearance as well. Just a word on those 2 and the contribution they've made while you've been here.
Yeah, well, Ads is like the bad penny, we spoke about this before, I think, where he's gone, come back, but each time he's come back, we've got a better version of him, I think. He's of an age now where he knows it's not going to last forever. He's not got 10 years in front of him. So he's bringing something different. So his performance is still good, but he's bringing something different, becoming a bit of a leader, and sees the game. I think it happens for everyone. The game tends to slow down as you get older a little bit, and you can read it a bit better. And I think we're definitely seeing that. He's been really good for us. And a good find from overseas. They don't always end up working out. Zach, I'm happy for Zach. It's a good milestone for him. I think, they're not in the too distant past. 5-6 years ago, Zach was playing at Siddle, playing university rugby. Played at Oldham, come with us, worked all rows at the start with, he's with Sheffield, then us, went on loan, got his head down, did the things he needed to do, and he's turning into a really good player. I'm still not sold on what he is, a winger or a centre, to be honest, but I know he does a solid job and tries his best in either position, and that's been Zach. Went around it the hard way to get to where he is, and he's worked really hard along the way, and I think that definitely shows his performance. So good, we got a win on the milestone, so I think we've passed many over the last couple of years, and not really nailed it on some big ones for a few players as well, which is disappointing. But to get a win next to the milestone game is really nice.
Aribi Doro as well on debut. How do you think he went?
Rusty, but good. I thought he'd come on, had a bit of leg speed, run hard. Obviously took his try really well. I think that's what he provides you. He's athletic. He moves across the ground pretty quick. But yeah, Rusty, and again, one of them combo things, working out at the best time to use Aribi. But I think had we have had possession for a bigger period when he were on the field, I think we'd have seen a bit more from him. His D was okay. But yeah, I think working each other out, what's the best way to use Aribi? Is it off a long pass where he's standing still, or is it bringing him onto the ball and getting them legs moving? So we'll work all them out in review. And again, 6 games from now, I said you said it downstairs, I think we're all feeling a little bit, not flat, but I don't know, we want to do well, don't we? And you want to win every game in good fashion and then come off smiling every week. And when you don't, it leaves you a little bit flat. But I think 6-8 weeks from now, like most teams, we will get that rhythm, we will get into a flow of things, and then we'll see what we look like. We just got to keep working hard week on week now.
Last couple from me, just an injury update if that's alright. How's Kevin Leroy?
Not great, but better than first feared. When someone goes down as a non-contact injury, they're normally not great, are they? It's normally a knee that goes when the sidestep in, or in that position where Kev was just loading himself up to set off again. Often you see an Achilles rupture there, which was the fear instantly, the way he went down and rolled around a bit, which we'll have a laugh about this week, I'm sure. But no, fortunately, it looks like it's a calf injury. It'll be a significant one, but I don't know how long an Achilles takes now. Is it 6 to 9 months, around that sort of time? It'll be a damn sight better than that. Other than that, on the field today, just bits and bobs. I think nothing to worry about. Obviously got a couple of blokes nursing them in the background, but all good.
And on those couple of blokes in the background, Jacob Fairbank, Jake Mason, neither played today. Are you expecting them back next week?
Possibly. Well, Bob will definitely come into contention, as will Jake, I think. I don't think, we thought his shoulder would come out, but on testing it's not as bad as first aid, probably sublux and I'd come all the way. But we need to put a bit of work for him to make sure he can get through and we're not having to make changes, because obviously when you lose the back in the game it's a fair old shuffle to get it right. So I'm not going to stress too much just yet. We'll get the review of Tuesday and the nightmare of watching that a few times done before we worry about that, but we're not far off.
Cheers, Sam.
There is tap.
Could I ask you now about what did you think of Dan Smith's contribution today, obviously coming into the side?
I thought it was good. For me, I find it quite easy to see. Not everyone might have seen it, but you can just see habits and experience really good. But we didn't see anywhere near the best of him. One, you're never going to do that when they come in dual reg early doors. If he stays for a while, I'm sure he will. But yeah, I think Dan's a very good rugby league player. It's not just about lumping it out, he's got skill as well, but unfortunately we couldn't hold up onto the ball for too long, could we? So we didn't really get a chance to see it. But happy with his contribution, I thought he went well.
And how would you analyse this upcoming clash with Widnes?
I don't know the result today or anything, but I think they're a team with a lot of changes like us and finding their way. It'll be a tough game. Never easy over there. The change of surface makes the game a little bit different. It's a fast game, kicking game's really important. So yeah, I think for us it doesn't really matter. At the minute we've got a lot of, not massive issues, but a lot of little stuff we just need to tidy up, and that'll go a long way towards a good performance.
Perfect, thank you.
Just one from me, Simon. Just those final 10 minutes. Obviously, with Dan Murray with the sin bin. How do you feel you handled the kind of final?
I thought
10?
they were good. London were obviously trying to come up with something to make us drop the ball or whatever, and I thought we rode that a little bit well. Got a couple of penalties. Obviously, took the 2 points, which made us feel comfortable. Just disappointing on the whole to put ourselves in that spot after putting a decent gap between us. I thought we could have really put the foot on the throat there and put them to the sword. That's something that hopefully when we get into the rhythm and that flow we spoke about, I think we'll be able to do that. But although it wasn't all pretty, we showed some toughness. I think the goal line tries, we didn't concede barge overs, which we conceded a heap of against Featherstone and Sheffield. Kicks off tries though, poor. Ones we could have really avoided had we been a little bit smarter and got the fast stuff in early, moved faster early and then assessed it rather than trying to get there late. But all lessons round 3.